Hello everybody, I'm James from Wargames Illustrated. We've snuck into a back room at BritCon with Sarissa to get a bit of a preview of a new project that you've been working on.
Yes. Yeah.
Tell us all about these exciting, colourful buildings in front of us.
This is the first scenery set from our full colour Tollingchester range, which has been developed alongside Graham at Grey for Now's Traitors Toll game.
Yes.
So he spoke to us, asked us if we would help him with a small range to support the launch of his game, and we've done what we normally do and sort of done a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
And this was born from it. This is a small part of the whole range which will be shown off and made available over the coming months.
Yeah, for sure.
Very excited about it.
It is very cool, and obviously we'll show some close-ups as we're going through the video, but the main selling point here is the colour, I think, and that's something that you've kind of been working on behind the scenes a little bit for a while and finally splashing it out with
Yeah, we've had the capacity to do full colour products for sort of just over 4 years, and we do a lot of tokens and templates and things like that, and we've done stuff for other people. We haven't done any buildings yet.
Yeah.
And that was very much because we wanted it to be the right product and not just go and colour up some buildings that we already had.
Sure.
You know, we see this as a completely different product from our standard core range.
Yeah.
And that'll still be there and it'll be supported. This is something else.
Yeah. So what's the design process for these versus a standard MDF building? How does that change? What are the challenges?
The main difference is that when we start these, the design process starts and we know it's going to be full colour. So everything from where the undercuts are, what you'll be able to see and not see, we have to consider all that.
Yeah.
Otherwise you come up with something and then you colour it up and then realise that you can't put these two bits on the same sheet because you've got to print on opposite sides.
Sure.
So all of that has to be thought of in advance.
Yes, yeah, because it is just one-sided printing on these,
On these, yeah, one-sided print. So there'll be some little undercuts on things like the roofs, stuff like that. But it's all just edges and things, and you know, I think you'll agree that you don't notice it once you start looking at them.
No, not at all. And they have a really nice kind of, there's hints of fantasy, but it's also got that medieval feel a little bit as well. It's going to be useful for a lot of different things, even though the original impetus was Graham's game.
Yeah.
And you've kind of kept it quite modular. There's a lot of sort of removable parts that you can shift about.
Yeah, so you have a core range of core buildings, and there is 5 of those, 5 core buildings. But within that, things like, and some of those it's just art styles, graphics that change. So you can swap bits around even within those. But then on top of that, then we get to things like the balconies, buttresses, the shop fronts, you know, things like that. These all just push on. So you can just sit them up against it, use it as a shop, and then tomorrow it can be a house again, and next week it can be a shop or a different shop. The things like the tower, these come off. Yeah. So there's lots and lots of modularity there, and even down to the chimneys. You can stick them wherever you want. The steps on the buildings, they can go sticking out alongside, or you don't use them, and put walkways and things against them.
Yeah, and the nice thing is, like, some of them you're obviously probably balconies you're going to have to stick on, but quite a lot of them you will be able to swap out, either just slot them on like that tower or blue tack you've used on a few of these.
We have just to show it off. We haven't stuck some of these on, but it's a decision you can make when you do them. You might want to just blue tack it on, have a little play around with different configurations, and then decide on your final build. Yeah,
for sure. And the scale, is it kind of 28-32 that you've gone for here?
Yeah.
There's no interior detail, which you mentioned.
Yeah.
That's because of the one-sided printing, but one of the benefits, it sounds like, is that there's no peeling of films and things like that off your sheets.
No, we don't have that. The choice to go single-sided and not do the interiors is one of cost. You know, you just add in a process, an extra cost, and most people won't really want the interiors. So, you know, by adding interiors, you're just adding cost and detail that a lot of people won't want. So, you know, that's why that decision's been made.
And it also sounds like it's allowed you to really expand this to what is ultimately going to be a pretty huge range of buildings and options for them.
Yeah, I mean, the sort of core, there's sort of 40 or 50 core products that can make up. I wouldn't like to think how many options you've got once you start taking bits and pieces, and there'll be things within that we haven't even considered. So somebody will come along and go, oh, you can stick that on there.
Yeah. I mean, I guess there's the potential for like someone who does a game that's similar could even say, oh, could you do some custom kind of designed shields and things to stick on and stuff like that.
There's that. You know, there's the whole thing with detail and reskinning them to give them a slightly different look. And just taking all the components and building them in different ways.
Because I mean, I guess normally it's Gary who designed this, right? Normally he might have to do things like the woodwork and things like that in MDF as extra pieces, but here a lot of it's printed. Yeah. So does that provide him different opportunity to do slightly more quirky designs in places or help the modularity?
I think obviously by not having cut-in detail, you can then just change the look of a building by changing the artwork. Yeah. So the basis of them all is the same footprint. So it's just changing artwork. So then you can go back and change it. You know, if you want another option, you can change that again. So we could do different colorways and stuff like that. So you know, that's all stuff that could happen.
What's the sort of release date for these, and what should people expect in the initial release?
We're looking to put them up on pre-order towards the end of this month, and then we will have them shipping sort of middle of September. So it's not, you know, in the next sort of 4 to 6 weeks there'll be stuff out. What's sitting in front of me now is one of the starter sets. There's initially 3 sort of bundles, and then a large all-in bundle if you want everything, and then following that, there's a lot of products coming over the next sort of 6 months.
Cool. And I mean, let's be honest, skirmish gaming in the fantasy and medieval world is got a pretty big audience when you combine the different game systems. So you're probably going to do okay with this range, I would guess. Are you excited for where else this could go beyond these kind of fantasy medievals, though? Have you got plans to expand with printed MDF in other theatres and stuff?
Definitely. This just gave us an exciting opportunity to do something to give us that first full range rather than just some bits and pieces. We've got ideas on, you know, the next town or village along from this, the one over the mountain, etc. And then also you've got, like, as you say, sci-fi, historical, you know, there's lots of places we can go. Yeah.
And does it change the price at all? Are you looking at more cost because of the printing?
There's obviously an up value in it because it's printed, so there's a sort of double processing time there. But we've by being clever about the way we've sheeted it and everything, we've actually made it so that they're really good value for money. You know, sort of core buildings are sort of £20-25. Wow. So they're not really that much more expensive than the traditional kit. So
no, not at all. Yeah, I was honestly expecting more, so that's good. Yeah. And I've built quite a lot of MDF in my time, and I've started to work super glue more and more into my build process because I'm lazy and I like things to stick straight away. I'm guessing super glue perhaps isn't the best thing for
these are all done with super glue.
Oh, right, okay.
We don't use anything other than super glue because we are very lazy. So it's spots of super glue, stick it together. If you really want to go round and bead joins with PVA afterwards, we would maybe do that. But ours are 100% super glue when we do them, so yeah, it's fine.
Wicked,
no issues with it.
I was just wondering if you might get a bit of fogging from the gluing and stuff like that.
No. The UV print's very resilient. You know, you can actually stick solvent and things on it, and you have to really rub to get something to happen. You know,
that's cool.
Yeah, it's a very, you know, it's an instant cure process. So.
No, that's dope. And yeah, it looks like, do you want to sort of give us a bit of a tour of some of the add-ons and the way that these things are?
Yeah, so we've got some simple walls that can just be placed around to create some linear obstacles. We've obviously got the balconies, balcony sets, so you can, you know, you could really pimp one building up and put lots of balconies in, or you could spread them out amongst them. We've got a tower here, standalone scatter. We've got the little market stall set. And then you've got things like these, like buttresses, so you can then, you know, these will place up against the buildings.
And
so
same
you
with the
give them a
steps,
different route.
right?
The steps can be turned and placed. What you'll find with some of the buildings is they'll have upper doorways, so they could be, you know, a mill and it's in upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what we don't have here is there's also some walkways which can be placed at ground level. They'll also locate on these lugs, so you can instead of having balconies, connect two buildings with a little walkway and things like that. So you can add some height to it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can see these being used. We've just brought out Ruckus, which is a medieval skirmish game, and these would be fantastic for some of the battles in that as well. So, yeah, I'm quite excited to have a play. And you're going to get us some sheets of the MDF too.
We are, yeah, we're going to get.
Also, I might do a bit of a video building one of these and report back, so that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Is there anything I haven't asked you about that everyone should know?
No, I think we're all good, yeah.
Wicked. And there's those ones over there.
Oh yeah, sorry,
I
totally forgot about those that got hidden. Yeah, so we've got little dormers.
Yeah.
There's different styles, and also just little sewer grates and things that can go up against to denote the basement.
Yeah, because they're raised, you could also have kind of river sections running by and stuff to get that
there
sort of
there
feel.
is some walkway sets and things, so you could have a sort of, you could have something in a swamp or down by the docks and things, rivers.
Oh, that's very exciting. So people will be able to get this pretty soon on pre-order. Lots ahead. You're kind of going to be. How long until the whole range is done, or is there no ending point for that?
The launch at the moment is about running at about 8-9 months. So we plan is to have everything ready, but everything will be out by Salute.
Brilliant.
So, know, and that's a lot of kits. This is just a tip of the iceberg.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming along and showing us these. And
thanks for having us.
I'll look forward to building some soon.
All right. Cheers.
This video has been brought to you by WiPrime, Wargames Illustrated magazine's online members club. View more videos or find out more about WiPrime by following these links.